Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for today presentation assignment, current issues. So our group will be discussing the transplantation issues in Malaysia, challenges facing Malaysia's rail system in 2026. First, let me introduce my name. My name is Qistina Mila and I will be covering the introduction, objectives and two major challenges of Malaysia's rail system. To begin, rail transportation is one of the most important components in Malaysia's public transport network. It consists of rail services including MRT, LRT, monorail, KTM commuter, ETS, ECRL. So basically this rail system plays a significant role in connecting people across different regions. They provide a convention alternative to private vehicles and help reduce traffic congestion, especially in highly populated urban areas such as Kuala Lumpur and Klang Valley. So in addition, rail transportation supports economic growth by improving mobility, creating employment opportunities, and facilitating business activities. Efficient transportation networks also attract investment and contribute to national development. Although Malaysia has made significant progress in expanding and modernizing its railway infrastructure, there are still several challenges that limit the effectiveness of the rail transportation system. Basically, these challenges can affect passengers' daily travel experience and reduce the overall efficiency of public transportation. So, the objective of this topic is first, we aim to discuss the main issues affecting Malaysia's rail transportation and suggest a possible improvement. Next is to discuss several recommendations that could help improve the efficiency, accessibility, and sustainability of Malaysia's rail transportation network. So now let us look at the first major challenge is limited network coverage. One of the major issues facing Malaysia's rail system is that rail services are mainly concentrated in major urban areas such as Kuala Lumpur, Petaling Jaya and Klang Valley. So, however, many rural areas and I would say smaller towns still have limited access to railway services. As a result, residents living outside major cities often depend heavily on private vehicles, buses, or other forms of transportation. So basically, this creates an imbalance in transportation accessibility between urban and rural populations. Furthermore, there is still a lack of integration between certain transport modes. In some locations, passengers may find it difficult to transfer smoothly between trains, buses, and other public transportation services. So the impact of limited network coverage can be seen in several ways. Firstly, it contributes to increased transportation congestion because more people rely on private cars instead of public transport. So this leads to heavier traffic on roads, especially during peak hours. Secondly, limited rail access creates unequal opportunities for people living in different regions. Those in rural areas may face difficulties accessing education, healthcare, employment opportunities, and other essential services. The second challenge is overcrowding and service reliability. As Malaysia's urban population continues to grow, rail services experience high passenger demand, particularly during peak hours in the morning or evening. Many commuters rely on trains to travel to work, school, or other destination. So during these busy periods, train station and carriage can become extremely crowded, causing discomfort for passengers. So in addition to overcrowding, service reliability remains an important concern. Delays and service disruption occasionally occur due to technical issues, equipment failures, operational problems, or maintenance activities. So while maintenance is necessary to ensure passengers' safety and system performance, it can sometimes interrupt regular services and inconvenience commuters. Another contributing factor is that the growing number of passengers requires higher train frequency. When train schedules cannot keep up with demand, overcrowding becomes more severe and passengers may experience longer waiting times. So the impact of overcrowding and service reliability issues are significant. One major impact is longer travel times, as passengers may have to wait for several trains before finding available space. Delays can also affect daily schedules, causing people to arrive late for work, classes, or appointments. Furthermore, frequent disruptions and overcrowded conditions reduce passenger satisfaction and may discourage people from using public transportation. So, in conclusion, while Malaysia's rail transportation system has contributed greatly to improving mobility and supporting economic growth, challenges such as limited network coverage and overcrowding continue to affect its effectiveness. Addressing these issues is essential to ensure a more efficient, accessible, and reliable transportation system for all Malaysians. So, thank you for listening. I will now pass the presentation to the next speaker, my partner.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Umairah and I'll be talking about the next issue, which is the high cost and infrastructure maintenance. It is one of the biggest challenges of railway transportation is the high cost of building and maintaining the system. Constructing railway tracks, stations, signaling systems, and trains require a large amount of money. Railway infrastructure is expensive because it uses advanced technology and must meet strict safety standards. In addition, regular maintenance is needed to keep tracks, trains, electrical system, and stations safe and operating smoothly. Without proper maintenance, accidents and service disruption may occur. Another challenge is aging infrastructures, as older railway system needs upgrades and modernizations to improve efficiency, safety, and passenger experience. As a result, railway operators face increasing costs and sometimes expansion projects are delayed because of funds and uses to maintain existing infrastructure instead of building new routes. Let's now discuss sustainability and environmental challenges. Although railway are considered one of the most environmentally friendly forms of transportation, they still have some environmental challenges. First, building new railway lines often requires land clearing and construction, which can disturb wildlife and natural habitats. Second, trains use a large amount of electricity, and if this energy comes from non-renewable sources, it can still harm the environment. To reduce these impacts, many countries are using cleaner technologies such as electric trains powered by renewable energy-efficient systems, and eco-friendly railway designs. Despite these challenges, railways remain beneficial because they can carry many passengers at once, reduce the number of cars on the road, lower carbon emissions, and support a more sustainable transportation system. The financial difficulties that train transportation system face will be covered next. Railway construction requires a large amount of funding. Costs are involved in every stage, including planning, construction, operation, and maintenance. Many railway projects depend on government support and public investment. However, governments often have limited budgets and must balance railway development with other important needs, such as healthcare, education, public services. In addition, operating expenses continue to increase due to maintenance, employee salaries, energy use, and technology upgrades. Another challenge is that railway projects are long-term investments, and the benefit may take many years to be fully realized. Therefore, strong financial planning and long-term commitment are essential to ensure the success of railway projects. Lastly, let's examine how Malaysia might enhance its train network. To improve its rail system, Malaysia should expand rail networks to underserved areas so more people can access reliable public transportation and rely less on private vehicles. Increasing train frequency during peak hours would reduce overcrowding and make travel more convenient for daily commuters. Investing in smart technologies such as digital ticketing, real-time train tracking, and online information services can also improve efficiency and passenger experience. In addition, regular maintenance and inspections are important to improve safety, reduce breakdowns, and extend the lifespan of railway infrastructures. Finally, better integration between trains, buses, and other public transport services would create a smoother and more convenient journey for passengers. In conclusion, Malaysia's rail system is essential for the country's transportation network, but challenges such as limited coverage, overcrowding, maintenance costs, and sustainability concerns remain significant. Through continued investment, modernization, and better transport integration, Malaysia can create a more efficient, reliable, and sustainable rail system for the future. That is all from our group. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.